Back on Sports Pit, time for Big Game Breakdown, always sponsored and powered by Bet Online. First game, 4 o'clock Pacific. Vikings at home to the Saints, Minnesota 3, 48 the total. Exceptional customer service and strong promotions, every type of wager you're looking for with Bet Online. So here we go. AP back to Minnesota, 32 years old. Still says he has something left in the tank. A good quote here. In my mind, we're starting and ending the season in Minnesota. I want to stick it to them. I want to stick it to everyone we play, but going back to Minnesota playing the Vikings, yeah, I want to stick it to them, of course, and Minnesota gets the Super Bowl in February. You have Breeze. Are they going to change the way they play now that he's lost Cooks and some of his weapons over the last few years? When you have Ingram and AP, will we see more of a running attack with New Orleans?
There's certainly signs of that. You know, Breeze is talking about feeding AP tonight. Quote, he's a future Hall of Famer. He's meant a lot to that team for a long time and probably the community as well. So, yeah, it's emotional, but this is a team that's definitely going to need the running game. Without Brandon Cooks, who obviously went to New England in the offseason, Willie Snead, who's suspended right now. These are two guys that combined to catch 150 passes for more than 2,000 yards last year. Now, we know that Michael Thomas and Drew Brees have good chemistry, but the rest of the receiving corps, Ted Ginn and company, very, very questionable as to the continuity and comfort level that Brees has with these guys. So what New Orleans needs to do, real simple game plan tonight. They need to run the football and take the crowd out of the game against this defense. You know, the Vikings at home last year, elite numbers against the pass. They allowed a 76.1 passer rating. That would have ranked number 3 in the NFL prorated to a full season. Of course, those are just their home numbers. So we're talking about a top-notch pass defense and a quarterback who may not have the same level of chemistry with his receivers that he had last year, which means they better be able to run the football.
Well, the whole key to the handicap in this season is their offensive line. Could the Vikings protect Bradford and get the running game going? They picked up Murray from the Raiders. They took Cook in the draft. Cook won the job. But dead last year in rushing yards per game, 75.3, and yards per rush at 3.2. They were also 23rd in sacks allowed. Bradford had a good year. He was pretty good. Passes longer than 15 yards. Problem was he didn't have the opportunity to throw a lot of passes down the field because the offensive line was so bad. This is a team that started 5-0, and then all hell broke loose after the bye week, and they missed the playoffs. It's one of the best home field advantages in all of sports, and they tried to fix the offensive line with Berger, Riley Reif, Remmers at right tackle. So that's a whole key to the season. Remember, they got off to that good start because the offensive line was good. Then they had so many injuries, offense and defense, then the wheels came off.
I couldn't disagree more. I thought that Sam Bradford was mediocre at best last season. Now, he led the NFL in completion percentage. Why? Because he didn't throw a single pass longer than 5 yards downfield. The whole offense was dink and dunk. They were doing everything to protect Bradford from the hits that he was taking behind that abysmal offensive line. And at the end of the season, the stats say, oh, Sam Bradford was pretty good. If you watched him, Sam Bradford didn't win them any games. And that 5-0 start was all about the defense making key plays at key times. Now, it may be different this year because, remember, they got Bradford at the end of training camp, after training camp last year. So he kind of came in and was forced to work. He was forced to fit into the system without a training camp. They changed offensive coordinators when Norv Turner got fired mid-season or quit mid-season. So it was really not a lot of continuity for that Minnesota offense. This year, Bradford at least had a training camp. He's got a running back. In theory, he has an improved offensive line, but I've got questions about that offensive line. Again, dead last in rushing yards per game last year, dead last in yards per rush, the bottom of the league in sacks allowed, despite the fact they weren't taking any 7-step drops. And, only one guy back at the same position. 3 of the 9 offensive linemen on the roster are rookies. 6 of the 9 are in their 3rd NFL season or less. So they paid a lot of money for a couple of mediocre free agents. We'll see if that offensive line actually holds up to a real NFL pass rush tonight. I wouldn't count on it. I'm not sold on the Vikings as being even a decent offensive team, let alone a good one.
Hey guys, for the full video, go to sbrpicks.com.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to our channel. Now, we've put a lot of work into producing all these free videos, so please help us out and keep all our content free for you forever by simply liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Now, not to mention, a visit to our industry-leading website will warm the hearts of all our SBR employees, especially myself. Now, the links are over there to the left, so do check those out. Thanks for watching.